the pickup. Yeah, you can really feel the torque, can't you?
Right then, welcome back to the channel, and this one should be good for you Overland subscribers and the guys and girls that follow us for the performance upgrades. So as you can see, we have got a Defender on the dyno, and before you all start emailing us saying, I've got TD5, can you tune it? I've seen that you start tuning TD5s. Let's have a look under the bonnet. It's not a TD5. It's not 200.
Wait.
It's not 300. That is a BMW N57 engine. It's the bi-turbo, so basically what you'd find in the 335D, F-Series, 435D, obviously all the other models that comes in. Really nice conversion. It's made to the ZF 8-speed gearbox. This is all done by MW Machines 4x4, who specialise in putting BMW engines in Land Rovers. So please, before you email us saying, oh, that's right, cool, I want a BMW engine in my Land Rover, we haven't done this conversion. They're the guys to speak to. We'll put a link in the description of their website and their social media. Go and check them out. In terms of tuning a car with an engine conversion, they've done really well with the hardware. A lot of cars that we've had in the past that have had engine conversions, at some point we encounter some kind of hardware issue. But yeah, tuning this has been relatively straightforward. Got to give them the due in what they've done with the conversion. This engine in this chassis is quite a monster. So let's have a look at the power figures. So in standard form, we saw 245 horsepower. If you're familiar with these engines, they should be doing 313 horsepower, I believe, as standard. Due to drivetrain losses, it's about 20% on this. Obviously, we've got mud tyres on there as well, which if you watched a few of us other dyno videos regarding the tyres, that can make a big difference as well. So in standard form, obviously, we're a little bit down, but I think the most important thing is the gains. So after the tune, we are now at 351.4 horsepower and 600 foot-pound of torque, which is absolutely ridiculous in a Defender. If you've ever drove a Defender before, well, you probably know how unsafe that should feel. So yeah, really happy with the power gains, but I think to understand what 350 odd horsepower feels like a Defender, we need to get this out on the road, which to be fair, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Is it rapid, this, or is it?
I've not drove it yet, but it's still enough as it is.
How many ISPs?
ISPs, it's done 350. So I think the first thing to note in this is there's not much steering lock. So first of all, it still feels like a Defender in here. Still very tight, not much elbow room this side. It's quite strange there being a BMW gear stick here. Yeah, I suppose you'll get used to it. This has had quite a few modifications done to make it drive better than a normal Defender. I believe the steering rack is from a P38 Range Rover, and this particular vehicle has air suspension coupled up with an airlift suspension controller. So it seems to ride all right. Steering is fairly responsive, a lot more responsive than most Defenders, I'd say. But yeah, it feels all right, not too wallowy. I think the air suspension helps out with that quite a lot. So we're up to temperature. The gearbox seems to work very well in this vehicle. Shift points and everything seem good. So we're just coming up to a little bit of a straight now. See what it's like. Woo-hoo. Definitely quick. It's pretty quick anyway, but in a Defender, it's especially quick. before I got in this car to do the road test, I did think that it was going to feel a lot more leery and a lot more unsafe, sketchy. But it actually handles the power pretty well. I know the guys that got it on the dyno said the majority of the components underneath this has been replaced, so obviously bushes and everything, I believe they're all new. But yeah, it's good, really good. Obviously this engine at the minute is completely standard. So stock turbos, I'd say on the BMW 35Ds with kind of standard hardware, we're seeing 360, 370, maybe with an intercooler, downpipe. They're doing closer to 380s, 390s. Can't imagine what this thing would be like if we put the hybrid turbos on, cams, injectors. That'd be stupid. Maybe it's something for the future. But yeah, I'm impressed. The guys at MW have done a really good job on this conversion. Pretty sure when they come to pick it up tomorrow, they're going to be very happy with what we've done with the tuning. So I'm hoping when they come to collect it tomorrow, we can do a bit of a road test with them in it and see what they think. Get a bit of a customer reaction to what it's like with the tune on there. Because obviously we've gained 100 odd horsepower and we're now at 600 foot-pound of torque, so a very nice improvement to how it came to us. So yeah, hopefully the next part of this video we'll be sat in here with the guys from MW, see what they think. So we're back in the Defender, and as you can see we've got Marcus here now. Marcus is the guy that's done the conversion on this, so he knows exactly what it drove like before it came to us. Let's see what it drives like now.
Much more lively on the pickup. I was really keen to see what it was going to be like, because we've done 2 twin turbos of these 435D engines now.
Yeah.
And compared to the single turbos we've done, they've always seemed a bit flat from pickup, and then when it comes on boost, it's been all right.
Yeah, because they're a lot more progressive.
Yeah.
Rather than a single turbo just coming in with a bang.
Yeah.
These are a lot more progressive. But
And we've always had this sort of argument that even though it's meant to have more power than the single, it's never felt that way because of the progression, and I've always wondered whether the mapping would change that, so that then it'll come in quicker, stronger, and have that sort of single turbo kick.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can really feel the torque, can't you? We've always said that, that's hilarious, that like every person I've had in a twin turbo Defender that's been like, you give them the stats that it's 300 horse and stuff like that, and they've always been like, oh, but it doesn't feel that, and it is a little bit upsetting. This is exactly still the same, but like, if you watch the speedo, it's like
it goes round pretty quickly.
You are moving, you just can't believe, you just look down, you're like, oh, actually we are moving pretty quick.
I think it's a good thing in a way, because I think in most normal Defenders you don't have to be going half as that quick, and it don't feel as safe.
Yeah.
This feels really planted.
Yeah.
And even at high speeds, it still doesn't feel as... When I got in it yesterday to drive it, I thought I was going to jump in it and it was going to like scare the life out of me. Like, a Defender shouldn't have this much power, but it actually drives really well. Like the brakes and the steering and everything.
Yeah.
It feels pretty well matched with the power.
Yeah, it's had full new steering setup, P38 box, so it's really solid and tight. It doesn't, not your usual Defender wobbling all over the place. And then we've got a full set of LOF brakes on it, so that helps us for stopping. That's really impressive, actually. Like, you can even feel this hasn't actually got an LSD centre diff, what I would normally put in.
Right.
It does really well. It didn't need it before, actually. Interestingly, with the twin, you can't, because it's so smooth, the power delivery. It's not like the singles, which we can get to spin a front wheel up like no problem with the open centre diff. But like, interestingly, that's the first time I've now been in one of these cars in the Defender that you can start to feel it trying to spin a wheel
just
coming
a
off
little
that
bit.
roundabout.
like we're on about before as well, this is obviously a 130 with quite a lot of bolt-on bits, so it's quite heavy.
Yeah.
So
well, comparing back to back the other day, because I've got our 110 back for updates that's got the same engine as this, and interestingly a double cab 110, which is only really slight. It's, you know, this has got the winch bumper and the roof rack on top and a 130. It must weigh some extra because the 110 definitely, even not mapped, that kicks you back a little bit in the seat.
Yeah, you can
whereas this was always, you knew you were moving, but it was very smooth and progressive. Now, yeah, definitely can tell it's got some more go. It was. I was towing a trailer with this the other week, and it was just like towing like a D4, like barely any. You didn't know the trailer was on the back with a 90 on the back. So I can't imagine what it'd be like now. Yeah, majorly happy. I think that's all good.
Good.
No, it does work well for a Defender, doesn't it? It's brilliant.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with the, even with like the TD5 engines tuned up and things like that, they still feel a little bit raw and agricultural, I suppose.
Funnily enough, I was having this discussion with somebody the other day. What I seem to have learnt now with these BMW engines is you can get reasonable power out of, say, like a TD5 or a TDCI engine with a turbo and a map, and for some reason the BMW engines, they will be much quicker than them stock, but what you end up with is like they're only like just ahead, and you'll get people with a map TD5 saying like, oh yeah, you know, it was only just ahead of me, and you know, I've only got a turbo and a map.
Winning's winning.
That's meant to be 400 horse. But what I found with these BM engines is it's the torque that if you put a trailer on and did the same race, what's scary is these would do exactly the same thing. Drive. You don't even notice the trailer's on, whereas TD5s I find, no matter how they're mapped with what turbo and everything, you get to a point where you're pushing the throttle pedal down and you hit a wall of that is all you've got.
I think to get the power out of those, you put in a turbo on that's probably a little bit too big, which gives the top end power, but you're losing everything at the bottom end, which is what you need when you're towing. So. Yeah.
And this, to me, it seems like it's a little bit scary because the more you press the throttle, the more they're just like, yeah, how much more do you want? You don't seem to have a limit. The limit's like, oh yeah, we are actually doing about 70 miles an hour now, back off.
The limit's your fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting a little bit scary now.
Really impressed, That's certainly...
Cool. Very happy. I think you've done a good job with the conversion anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It seems to work really well. I'm glad you're happy with the tuning. So.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we've got several more to come, so...
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, you heard that. We should be doing some more of these, so maybe we'll do some more videos in the future. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.